Hello, and welcome to my ranking of all 13 Billy Joel studio albums. But wait, you say, Billy Joel has only 12 studio albums. Billy Joel has 12 pop studio albums, but he also has one classical music studio album called Fantasies and Illusions, and I will be including it in my ranking. So, without further ado, let's begin. In 13th place, we got Street Life Serenade from 1974. This is not a bad album, but to me it is the weakest Billy Joel album. There is a lot of filler, but there's also some great songs. The Entertainer and Souvenir, and the instrumental Root Beer Rag contains some terrific piano playing from Billy Joel. That being said, he has made many albums that are better, so I won't be able to rank this any higher. In 12th place, we got his debut from 1971, Cold Spring Harbor. This is also not a bad album, it's just that it has made better albums. But it does contain the first signs of what a terrific songwriter he would become. There are many strong tracks here, including Everybody Loves You Now, You Look So Good to Me, She's Got Away. Beautiful, beautiful songs. In 11th place, I will put Piano Man from 1973. Good album, but I feel that it has sort of this country sound that I don't like that much. And some of the songs sound a bit bland, but there are also some great tracks like The Ballad of Billy the Kid, Captain Jack, Worst Comes to Worst. When it comes to the title track, I don't really care for it. I think the harmonica sound is grating on the ears. I think the song goes on for way too long. It's almost 6 minutes. And some songs justify that length. Not this song, no. And I also just think it's kind of boring. Yep, I know there's gonna be angry people in the comments, but yeah, I don't really care for Piano Man the song. Piano Man the album is a good album, but he has better albums. In 10th place, I will put River of Dreams from 1993. This is his last pop studio album. As he has said himself, he felt like he had said what he wanted to say with his lyrics, which is reflected in the album closer, famous last words, These are the last words I have to say. So he kind of felt that he wanted to move on from the pop song format. He went out with a very good album. There are some great tracks here. All About Soul, Lullaby, Goodnight My Angel, Blonde Over Blue, Great Wall of China. The album cover is beautiful. It was painted by his then wife, Christy Brinkley. Yeah, sadly they divorced not long after, but beautiful album cover. In 9th place, we have Glass Houses, 1980. This is Billy Joel's rock and roll album. He wanted to prove that there was something more than just a smooth balladeer, and so he recorded this sort of stripped down rock and roll album. A bit of a new wave sound on songs like Sleeping with the Television On, All for Lena. Great songs, by the way. It's still rock and roll to me. Also a great song. And Through the Long Night, beautiful, beautiful song. But there are some filler tracks, so I can't rank it any higher. In 8th place, we have the classical album, Fantasies and Illusions, from 2001. Now, important to note here, Billy Joel is not the one playing on this album, because, he's a great rock and roll pianist. He's not a great classical pianist. So he had a British-Korean pianist called Richard Hyunki Ju. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Ju played the piano parts on this album and beautifully played. And also the music is very good. It's not the best classical music I've heard, but it's a beautiful album. Some really great pieces on this album. In 7th place, we got 52nd Street from 1978. This is Billy Joel's jazz rock album. He channels a bit of the Steely Dan sound on songs like 52nd Street, Zanzibar, My Life. He's got one of his most beautiful ballads here, Honesty. Love that song. There are some clunkers on here. Until the Night isn't that good. Half a Mile Away. But the rest of the album is very strong, and I would give it like an 8 out of 10, I guess. In 6th place, we got Stormfront from 1989. Now, I know a lot of people would rank this lower, but to me, it's a very solid album. And it's impressive that he released such a solid album that late in his career. It's got many great tracks. That's Not Her Style, I Go to Extremes, Shameless, State of Grace. Oh, and Leningrad, beautiful, beautiful ballad. It's about when he went to Russia in 1987. So he played in Leningrad and Moscow too, I believe, and he made many friends. It was one of the first major rock concerts behind the Iron Curtain, and it was it was very cool. Now there's one track on this album that I do not like at all. In fact, I think it's the worst song Billy Joel has written. It doesn't really have much of a melody. It's like we didn't start the fire. It feels more like a didactic school lesson, and in fact it has been used in schools to teach kids about history, but not a good song. Not a good song. But apart from We Didn't Start the Fire, Stormfront is a good album. It's a real good album. In 5th place we have 1986's The Bridge. This is a good album. He had a kid in 1985, and that became the most important thing to him in his life. So this album isn't as ambitious as his previous albums. It's more laid back, relaxed, but it has got some killer songs on it. Running on Ice, Big Man on Mulberry Street, Modern Woman, Temptation, and Baby Grand. Baby Grand is such a terrific song. He wrote it as sort of a tribute to Ray Charles, and he got to sing with Ray Charles on the track, and they both play piano, and it's great. Great track. Beautiful track. In 4th place we got Turnstiles from 1976. Now this, I believe, is the first truly great Billy Joel album. I mean, he had released some good albums, Cold Spring Harbor, Piano Man, Street Life Serenade, but he knocked it out of the park with Turnstiles. I mean, this thing, it's just one killer song after another. It's I've Loved These Days, New York State of Mind, James, Angry Young Man. It's just, every time I put this album on, I just know that the next 36 or so minutes are gonna be great, because it's beautiful, man. It's a terrific album. In 3rd place, we got Stranger from 1977. I know a lot of people ranked this in 1st place. I don't blame them. It's a great album. I just think there are a couple of albums that are better. But it's great. It's a masterpiece. Billy Joel, he hadn't really had a hit album up until this point, and the label was like, you gotta give us a hit album, or, this won't work. And then he comes with The Stranger, and it's just blows everyone's minds. There are so many classics here. Just the Way You Are, Vienna, title track, Scenes from an Italian Restaurant, Only the Good Die Young, She's Only a Woman. It's blows my mind how many classics are on this album. And also Get It Right the First Time is a really underrated track, but it's a beautiful, groovy little song. I love it. In 2nd place, we got The Nylon Curtain from 1982. This is sort of Billy Joel's, he went into the studio, experimented with like sonic textures, very studio-oriented album. He wanted to make his sort of Sgt. Pepper, very Beatles inspired. John Lennon had just died, so he tried to channel sort of, I guess, his inner John Lennon, and it's a great album. It's a great album. It tackles a lot of socio-political issues, like steel mills closing down, people losing their jobs in Allentown, and then in Pressure. It's like the pressures of being a man, having to provide for your family. And then, of course, there's Goodnight Saigon, which is this very moving ballad about the Vietnam War soldiers. And it's one of the few songs I know of that actually sings about the Vietnam War from the perspective of the soldiers. A lot of Vietnam War songs are like, the war is bad, and like protest songs. And that's great. That's great. That's necessary. But this song, Goodnight Saigon, I think it's very important too, because it tells you about the perspective of the soldiers and the horrors they went through. And I'm very glad that Billy Joel is able to tell this story in this song. In fact, he wasn't in Vietnam himself, but he had friends who were there, and they asked him to write the song. And he was like, no, I can't write this song. I wasn't there, But they told him, we'll tell you our stories, and you'll just put it into the song. So yeah, it's very authentic, and it's a great song. There are a lot of great songs on, the second half of the album. The songs I mentioned now were on the first half, but the second half opens with She's Right on Time, and it's just this rousing power pop ballad about, this girl that he meets, and it's like, it was just the perfect timing, terrific song. I love it. And then the album closes with Where's the Orchestra? That's just a haunting ballad about, growing up and adult life, and how it's like, you thought it would be like fun all the time, and like he kind of uses the metaphor of someone going to the theater and they expected it to be a musical, and they're disappointed with what they saw in the theater, and it's like how a lot of people are disappointed with adult life, and like I thought it would be a lot more fun and parties, but then you sit alone in your apartment at night, and it's like you know, where is everybody? Where's the orchestra, you know? So, and then in the very end of the song, it's like this little motif that's like do 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 on a horn or something, I don't know. And that's like the melody from Allentown, which is the first song in the album. So it's like, it comes full circle. I love that. I love when albums do that. Now, The Nylon Curtain, as good as it is, it's a masterpiece. It's a 10 out of 10 album. But he has one album that I think is even better. And that is, of course, at number 1, 1983's An Innocent Man. This album is just, you know, after the dark and introspective Nylon Curtain, An Innocent Man is just like this explosion of joy, you know? It's this 50s, 60s soul doo-wop music with an 80s production, and it just works, you know. And you know, it had 7 hit singles, and it was just, it was a hit, and it deserved to be a hit, because this is a truly great album. It's got songs like Uptown Girl, Tell Her About It, This Night, An Innocent Man, The Longest Time, Careless Talk, Leave a Tender Moment Alone. It's just bursting with hits, hit after hit, all killer, no filler, you know. And it's just, every time I listen to this album, it just makes me happy, you know. It's that kind of music. It just makes me want to dance and sing. Terrific album. And of course, the story behind the album is also very, you know, he had just met Christy Brinkley, the model, and they had started dating, and he felt like, you know, a teenager again, like being in love and like new love, and he wrote all these songs, and he wrote it in a matter of months. It was like it just came out of him, you know, inspiration, and then banger album. Love this album. So that's my ranking. And remember, you know, this is just my opinion. So don't get your knickers in a twist. That will be all for today, and have a good one.